Do you think we should get a cat?
I think that speaking of my nose being itchy and can't breathe, yeah, I think that we should get a cat.
But here's my issue. I have a few issues, and we know this. Issue number 1, if we got a cat, whose cat is it?
Okay. So it's funny that you bring this up because I've been thinking about this a lot recently. Because every time
about the cat?
Well, because every time I'm near a cat, I want to
Can I just take a second and fix my bookshelf?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Every time I'm near a cat recently, I think...
How often are you near cats?
Often. I would say
who's
more
letting you near
often
cats?
than not. More often than not, I would say.
Don't lie like this on this podcast anymore.
I feel like in the past 2 months, I've been at least near 3 cats.
That's not crazy.
But for me, that's a lot of cats. I'm allergic to cats. They make my eyes swell.
But doesn't everything? Your eyes are never not swollen.
What do you mean now?
I don't have to bring off your pink eye.
Okay, anyways, the cat can't be mine. The cat can't be mine. I just feel like I have a lot riding on the cat.
Now
and that's my whole family. It's the cat or my family.
For the cat?
They wouldn't let me bring the cat back into my house.
Well, I won't Lilo this situation. I won't take in your cat.
I mean, because thinking about the holidays, my cat's gonna want to be with me for the holidays. My parents wouldn't let me in the front door.
But I'm not gonna say, "Oh, mom and dad, can we house Andrew's cat for Christmas?" No, I already have your furniture here.
Do you think that like I need to have almost like a coming out situation, sit down dinner with them to let them know that I might be getting a cat?
You think that you're gonna say like, "Mom and dad, I just want you to know something. I might be a cat owner."
And I think in that moment, that's it. That's it. I'm living in the basement
Of my house?
Yeah, without a cat.
Yeah, Patty won't let you have the
Yeah,
cat.
no.
So no one wants you to have the cat.
But you
well,
used to
here's the
have
question
a
I have: is
cat.
why can't you just be? You're almost a 40-year-old man. Why do you need to live in my parents' basement? How did we jump to that conclusion?
That I wouldn't be in my own apartment. I would.
That
be
you
in
would
your
have to
basement.
be living in my parents' basement.
Yeah, I just feel like
When did you stop living independently?
I just feel like one thing led to another, and I was suddenly in your basement. And you know what? I guess I'll get out of the basement. I guess I'll have a cat, and I guess I'll be taking Zyrtec every single day. But I think it's worth it.
I just feel. We have a cat. Have you met our cat neighbor?
No, well, but I can smell our cat neighbor.
Not our literal neighbor that makes the whole apartment smell like a Petco, but across the way, across the kitchen window.
No,
there's a cat at night. You're never up past 11 p.m. But if you were, you would see him. He like sits on their refrigerator, like on top of it, and stares through the connecting windows into our apartment. And I'll like play with him sometimes, and it really brings me joy. Like I'll use my phone flashlight, and I'll watch him like follow it.
Like that's the joy of having a cat. Like you get to play with them.
But I do feel like I have the best. It's like almost like I'm playing a game on my iPad because it's like there's a screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not actually caring for this cat, but whenever I log back in, it's there and I'm ready to play with it. Do you know what I mean?
I do love that. Are you gonna get one of those lasers?
I honestly was thinking about it, but I don't want to give him OCD, and I learned that you can give animals OCD by playing with lasers.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
I also think it would be a little bit crazy if
our neighbors
saw a red laser come into their kitchen.
I can't laugh.
What would they do? I have a real question for you now.
Oh,
let's say the cat is my cat.
I would care for it.
Okay.
Where
the fuck is the litter box going?
In your bedroom.
Why?
That's a rule. If it's your cat, and I stand by this, if you have a cat, my cheeks are so white and greasy compared to my perfect matte nose. My matte little nose.
Your little matte nose.
I think if you are living with like roommates, not family, and you decide I'm going to be the bitch with the cat, you also have to accept that you're going to be the bitch that stinks. Like it shouldn't be like,
but like
if you had a cat in my shared space and it was your cat, it was completely your cat, I would like happily feed it. I would change its litter if you went away. I would take care of it, but I would like the litter box to be in your bedroom. And if you were hosting, if you had a boy over, I would say bring it into the living room.
I don't think that's something that I'm willing to do. So like, I don't think there's going to be cat. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can have anything else stink in my room.
And you can have more than just you shitting in that room.
And we both have litter boxes in the room.
I understand that there's ways to, like, I'm not trying to judge cat owners. I was one. I know that you can keep your house smelling tidy and fresh while having a cat. But here's the thing. When you are a lazy, disgusting slob like me and Andrew, you can't keep your house smelling clean without the cat. Imagine adding an animal to the mix.
I can't
I'm
imagine.
sad. I have seasonal depression. And I'm very depressed.
That's the thing about an animal. It's like, I want to put my love into something that's not just me.
But here's the two things about a cat. One, it's not going to love you back, and that's okay.
That's fine.
Two,
I'm used to it.
it's not like you have to like wake up to take your cat for a walk. That's a part of the benefit of dogs, and I think why people have such intense bonds with their dogs is because like a dog can save your life. Like,
Yeah.
if you're like depressed and you get a dog, like you wake up and you're like, I have to go for a walk because this dog has to go out. So like I have to like care for this thing, and then you start caring for yourself by proxy.
Would you want to foster a dog? And I know that you're upset because our apartment's a little too small, and I do think
don't
that's a
wanna
little
foster a
upsetting
dog.
for
I would
a dog.
foster a cat before I fostered a dog, because I don't think a cat would like care about me, and like I don't think it would stand me, but a dog would, and like it'd be hard to say goodbye to a dog.
You're
A
right.
cats are just passing through our lives in a beautiful way.
I kind of agree.
You just don't look the same.
No, I will say Cindy Lou Who this year has been beat up, has been broken down, and has been tired because this face doesn't look the same. I'll tell you that. She's not serving bow this year. She ripped that bow off the top of her head. And what are you going to do about it? Cindy grew up. Cindy grew up.
Had a tough year.
Cindy
in
had a
Louisville.
tough year, and you could understand if you had a tough year too. Cindy Lou Who had the same thing. She had the same thing.
Andrew, you look battered.
I almost feel like I look as if those Cindy Lou Who turned the age of 21 and could drink again.
Again.
I look like I'm
look like if
partaking
Cindy
in
Lou
alcohol.
Who was a barfly.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, if Cindy Lou Who moved to Long Beach, Long Island,
Yes, exactly.
and was like 60.
Yeah, 60 and like hitting the clubs, and
Yeah.
it's like, what's up?
Yeah, she's like, back in my day, there used to be a fucking Grinch.
He was stealing Christmas. You
And
wouldn't know
now
anything
these
about these kids
Now these
days.
liberals are trying to steal Christmas.
These liberals, absolutely not. You don't know the Grinch like I knew the Grinch. And Max. I'm getting a
My
dog.
world is changing.
I'm rearranging this face. Does that mean
Christmas?
I thought you weren't going to say the word this episode.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're taking Christmas out of the podcast, and it's honestly because, again, I feel bad for everyone listening.
Good children.
If I recovered that, Mariah would have picked me up.
I was going to say if you recovered that, it would be considered a whistle tone, but that was considered just jarring. Michael?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
And Andrew Muscarella.
reflect on our 22 years of friendship.
Growing up in the late 2000s, early 2010s.
And all of the nostalgia
Drama.
and just things that make us happy. That go
of our
along with it.
Favorite things.
If it makes you happy.
Raindrops on roses and
Girls with tattoos who like getting in trouble.
oh, that's so you.
Lashes and diamonds, ATM machines. Bought
These are
myself
a few
all of
of
my
my
favorite things.
Should we do a full music video to Seven Rings?
Right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that we could, after the podcast is over, I think
Yes.
that we put out a 3.5 minute video to that.
I think people would drop.
I think so too. If
People
we were
would
in this,
be dropping.
I'd be
like
drop.
flies.
So today we're talking about some of the things that made us happy in the past year, and I think over our life in general. And this is not by any means to, well, no, it could influence people and some purchases for sure down the
God, that
line.
looks so cute.
When wiggling your nose, it actually looks very realistic from this point of view, like that curve to the note.
Well, because what I did and what you didn't do, and I didn't want to call you out.
No, it's
because It was
okay.
already glued to your face. Is I said cover your lip.
Oh.
Because you see how I don't have a lift now.
Yeah.
I think that's what's serving realistic cinema.
But like, I think that Cindy Lou Who deserves a top lip. I do.
In the spirit of the year wrapping up, in the spirit of the holidays, in the spirit of just trying our best to climb ourselves out of the pit of despair that is living and being alive in the modern age, I think this week we're gonna do what Americans do best and turn to capitalism.
Absolutely.
And just think about some things that it doesn't even have to be things you bought this year.
Of course.
Just things that like have brought you joy, and then I think we could say like I want more of this next year.
Absolutely.
Do you have any ideas?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you one thing that brought me joy this year, and we've talked about them before, and that's Tony's Chocolate Lonely.
And I wanted having a lot of Tony this year.
I would say if I'm having chocolate, I'm having Tony's, or I'm having Almond Joys. I recently just got a Tony's Chocolate Lonely bar in the supermarket.
For some reason, I don't believe you.
Why don't you believe me? It's like you got to start believing me.
Well, you got to start giving me a reason to believe you.
Well, I'm telling you.
No, okay. I'm sorry. I'll change my tune.
But I want to eat more chocolate next year. I'll be completely honest with you. I do.
You don't think you're having enough chocolate?
I don't think I'm having enough chocolate. I can tell you.
When is enough?
I had a chocolate bar last week, and I would say I probably, in this year alone, I probably had about 50 bars. I don't think that's enough.
You've been having, what you're estimating is you had almost a chocolate bar a week. And I'm not even saying that's crazy. I'm just saying who gets that many chocolate bars?
Sometimes you have more than one in a week.
But like round average,
there was
only
milk.
2 weeks this entire year where you did not have a chocolate bar.
They're not all milk chocolate, Joe.
What does that even mean?
Sometimes like chocolate is like good for you and your heart.
I'm not even joking. I'm not even trying to be shady. I'm not trying to be a shady queen. I'm just saying I'm not saying it's about the health or like the fact that
I think
like candy.
in the amount of chocolate
that's a lot of times to have a chocolate bar. Just like it's just like unexpected.
Yeah, it is unexpected. It's definitely unexpected. And I think that like I could look back on it. I can look back on this year and say I regret my decisions that I made, but I can also look forward to the next year and say I'd be willing to do more. And I don't know.
So you want it's like when people read a book a week. You're
yeah,
have
it's
a
like
chocolate bar a week.
Yeah, I want
to have a different chocolate bar every single week.
Should I start?
When we were in London this fall and all you wanted was a chocolate bar, and somehow it became my problem.
And on the last, we didn't get a chocolate bar the entire time we were in London. I was actually begging because the thing about me is when I travel,
acting like it was on me. Like you were like, where? Like I just like all I want is my chocolate bar. Like we can't get it. And I was like, we were literally like, I have no plans here. I'm not pushing us around anywhere.
Walking past any convenience store, I was like, okay, Joe, I guess I won't get the chocolate
bar
because that's
you can get your Lost Mary.
That's the thing about traveling in any other country. I want to try their chocolate immediately. It's different in every country. You know what I mean?
I can't look at you. Do they even know?
What?
Do the listeners, the non-video listeners, know what's happening right now to our faces?
Oh well,
they can presume.
They can presume. We've already talked about Cindy Lou Who. But Joe, who the hell are you?
I'm the mayor. I'm Jeffrey Tambor. Canceled.
Canceled.
Dead.
You kind of do look very good as the mayor. When you had your shirt off with this on,
did I look hot?
You were kind of hot. I kind of was like, wait.
I've been thinking about dyeing my eyebrows jet black. They already are black.
No, I think that jet black, and I think that you should go gray. I feel like this is my true self. Last year I said it was the Grinch. Yep.
And if you're wondering why, Joe, Andrew's in the same exact costume as last year, why are you in a new costume? 2 reasons. 1, mine didn't come in time. 2, Andrew accidentally ordered the exact same prosthetic nose twice in 2 days.
So let me be honest with you guys. So this is what happened. I was on the couch with Joe and I was ordering the nose, and I ordered the nose and I was like, okay, great. It's going to come in time. It didn't show on Etsy that I ordered this damn nose. So then I'm in a fit of anxiety and I was like, oh my God, I never ordered the nose. Joe's going to smack the shit out of me. So I paid extra for 2 to 3 day shipping. And I don't want to say how much I paid for the nose, but then 2 boxes showed up. It was like $100. But I'm happy that it came in time because I'm happy that you're wearing that nose.
And I'm happy that my Grinch thing didn't ship yet because I was able to cancel it and get the money back.
So you Venmo me for that nose?
Yeah, I will.
That's amazing. What about you? What where are you starting with your top brand of the year?
Shit, I honestly like.
It doesn't have to be top brand of the year, but like what's coming to your mind right now?
What's crazy
that you
is
couldn't
I
live without?
told Andrew that this was the theme, and then I didn't think once about it for an entire week. Something that I really have come to love in the past year. Let me think about this for a second. The first thing that comes to mind truly, and this is, I unfortunately have not been gifted this, and I kind of wish I had been, is the Kettle One bottled espresso martini mix. We've had Tip Tops. We've tipped and we've topped, and Tip Top couldn't top me.
See, I think that
It
Tip
topped
Top
me.
is topping me.
It topped me, but it wasn't like in terms of flavor.
Yeah,
It could be topped, and it was topped by Kettle One. And it comes in a bottle.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Andrew, I had it on Thanksgiving, and I will say, like, if you're an espresso martini girl, I am like, again, is an espresso martini hard to make at home? No, but if you're a lazy bitch, and an espresso martini girl, intersection, this is for you, because I will say I'm getting really into like drinking. I think the problem. Okay, let me elaborate.
I was gonna say something to you
That I'm an alcoholic.
That lately I feel like
there's a drink being made pretty often.
You've been drinking, and
but
not in like I wouldn't say like
I drank as a result of stress, and that was the first time in my life. I think it's because I'm no longer vaping.
But I also think that like it will. The other night, I'm not going to get into what happened, but I will say that we were having the thing with drinking is it's a depressant. So you could be having the best time in your life, and then out of nowhere you're spiraling.
Yeah.
You're spiraling.
Let me keep going, because we don't have to get dark. But no, the Kettle One, here's why it was good. It was very sweet. Okay. It was very strong, and it was foamy. It had the foam.
Foam in bottle?
Well, no, but like I put it in a shaker.
Oh.
And then you poured it out, and it had the perfect foam at the top, and it tasted like one of the best espresso martinis I've ever had.
Because I've had some bad espresso martinis.
Whole bottle, $14.
What do you mean?
Like 4 martinis. So when you think about it, you're going out. That's one drink, that's on the low end. That's a cheap espresso martini, and you can get 4 in one bottle.
See, now that's bang for your buck.
The Tanqueray Negroni mix that I was sent, that also tastes. I'm like, okay, I could do this.
Yeah.
Because it used to be when I was drinking at home, if I was going to a house party, I'd bring like White Claw.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
I will say, if anything, for the next year, White Claw is out for me. Actually, it's not necessarily out for me.
I feel like I haven't seen you drink a White Claw in a little bit.
But I have, because I feel like I'm being forced to drink them.
That's what I feel. That's why I'm saying one of these bottled cocktails is what's in for me this year, because I feel like when I'm drinking at home or at someone's home, it is always a canned seltzer. And I've had enough. This is my prayer. That I'll die living just as free as my hair.
I'll do you one better than the canned seltzer. When this just becomes talking about alcohol.
Wine?
That canned wine that I had.
That canned wine that you had.
Joe, I need to find out what the name of it is, because that was very good. Actually like the fact that you can have wine in a can, you're sipping casually around. No, this is getting sad and scary.
My second favorite thing, and then I'm going to pass it back to you, I would say is the Opal app. I think for some reason, every time we speak right now, I feel like we're doing an ad. And that's actually scary. But I've talked about it a lot on Patreon. I'm sure I've talked about it on the actual podcast. Yeah. But I have an internet addiction, as I think a lot of us do.
Well,
I think my internet addiction is, I guess this is a year of addiction.
Yeah.
I think the internet addiction is the most harmful.
Yes.
Not even just mentally and psychologically, but also physically. Like, I know when I spend too much time on my phone, I feel sick.
But I mean, you've always been somebody who spent time on your phone.
Yes, but it's never been good for me.
I have this really big fear that people are going, when we have to read The Great Gatsby in school, people are going to like buy the Spark Notes. And like, I'm going to be reading this book with all of my heart because it's my favorite book ever. And people are going to be sitting there and be like, oh, I hate this book, it's so boring. And they're going to have like Spark Notes.
I block all of my social media starting at 5 p.m. And then I'm able to unblock it until 9 p.m. Starting at 9 p.m., I am incapable of opening up any social media app and incapable of deleting the app that blocks them off my phone until 9 a.m. the following morning. That is bliss. That is heaven.
Yeah, heaven.
I think that has changed my life. I think everyone should be blocking social media or paying more attention to their social media status. I have recommended Opal to many people. It is paid, and I'm pretty sure there's a free thing you could do instead. So maybe like research it, but I like Opal.
I think that I could definitely get on Opal. I've seen you on it. I like to see that you're being blocked from things. I personally need to be blocked from a few
Pornhub.
things. Well, that's one of them.
From Chatterbait.
That's 2 of them.
From XXXX.
No, I'm not on that one frequently.
From OnlyFans.
Listen, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I would say also like dating apps.
I do think it's crazy when I'm like in the middle of talking to you and I look at your phone and like you have Tinder up. I'm like, why is this happening right now?
Because again, like I need to delete them. Because it's getting to a point where it's like, it's not a game. It's not a game. You shouldn't be opening it up.
No, and I have that fun like little like no Wi-Fi app game that I can play games on. That helps too.
I need to re-download Temple Run.
Yes,
because
it's
was one of my
Temple
faves.
Run 2024.
It is.
So what's your second favorite thing this year?
This year, I will say, and it is partly because they send me a lot of things, but it's also because I think that it's just
Milk Bar,
very much my brand, and it's Milk Bar.
Yeah,
and because we were Milk Bar heads since
from day one.
From day one when we were kids.
Yes.
Was that where? No, you introduced me to Milk Bar.
Yeah, I did. Funny how that
did.
works. You know why? Oddly enough.
Why?
I wanted to go to Milk Bar to get the Carly Kloss complete cookie as like a teenager.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
And then
Full
I was introduced
circle.
to their ice cream and then their milkshakes.
Well, yeah, the ice cream, like, I mean, I know that you talked about it in your Instagram story and it was such a success and everyone loves you and it's amazing. But I will say that ice cream is so, like, I bought that pint the other day. I cleared it out. I mean, well, one of us cleared it out, but I cleared out most of it. But then I did get home to nearly empty.
I had
cart.
like a big one scoop.
And then I said, Andrew, did you have any of the Milk Bar? And he goes, no, what do you mean? And then I said, are you sure? And then finally it was admitted to that he had it.
That I had it.
So why can't I trust you?
Listen, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
It's not that.
What else say? Milk Bar. Very good. Their crunchy cookies. They were a highlight of my year. The small little crunches, and I'm not usually a crunch cook. I'm not usually the crunch cook. Besides, sometimes Tate's. But it's the small, famous Amos style cookie. I need it.
I think that something that's important and something that I've been ignoring for a little bit has been melatonin. I think that I sometimes shun away melatonin because I'm like, I shouldn't need an aid to help me sleep.
What's the dose that you take?
10 milligrams.
I feel like I wouldn't wake up.
Well, you're very fragile in that way.
I think I produce enough melatonin.
You are pumping, oozing, goozing, gushing melatonin.
I think I'm a walking pill.
Yes, you're
for almost everything.
Yes, vitamin D.
I started taking.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think back to 2020 when I was waking up at 7:30 in the morning every single day. And then I remember that I was taking melatonin at night. And now I'm back on melatonin and I'm waking up early. And I feel like for the first time since going like freelance, I am like waking up normally without lounging in bed and then like feeling like I'm delayed. Like it's like I'm feeling amazing.
Yes.
And I love melatonin dreams. Again,
Yes.
I take it like a party drug. It's recreational.
But what's your feeling when like the thing?
I'm not grogged. I don't get grogged.
You don't get groggy?
Because I wake up naturally on melatonin at like 6:40 a.m. and then I push myself back to sleep. I think if I stayed up, I'd be grogged.
You know what I want to get into this year though? Is I want to kind of get away from the fan that I use in my room to make me go to sleep. And I want to start using a sound machine.
I have both.
What the fuck does it sound like in your room? A symphony orchestra? What sound machine are you using?
I use a Hatch. I use the alarm clock that I have.
The one that... Oh, I know that sound.
Because you hate it? It's woken you up many times.
It's woken me up many, many, many times.
I think that a sound machine is very beneficial, especially living in an apartment.
Can you trust somebody that can just... I just can't...
Can go to sleep in dead silence.
I don't know how
I
to
used
do
to
it.
be able to.
I don't know
But now
how
I
you do
need the heat in our apartment fan blowing.
Yes.
I need my personal fan blowing. I need a sound machine blowing. And I usually am watching TV.
I think it's a skill. I think it's a true skill if you can go to sleep and in dead silence.
I used to be able to so well.
I need to be freaking freezing.
Yeah, well, I need to be freezing cold.
But that's why I like a fan, because it's constant air that's blowing in my face. But then I'm kind of like,
is that bad for you?
Is that bad for me? Is that bad for
That's what made you gay.
A fan blowing in my face?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like,
you're taking it.
I've constantly been taking it. But I could always be taking more. I always could be taking more. I could.
You're not having enough sex?
I would say definitely not. What do you mean?
I feel like you're having I feel like your sex and dating life is pretty good right now. Am I wrong?
I definitely would say that I'm back in the game. I'm not in the right head. Like, I'm back and forth between if I want to date or not. I think it's again.
You want a boyfriend.
I do. But I don't feel like I'm finding them on the apps. I really don't feel like I'm finding them in the apps. And I'm kind of like okay with that. I think I am. We've been through my profile. I've worked on it. You've helped me revise. You helped me review. And I still am not finding the success that I would like.
We worked on it literally 5 minutes ago. What do you mean? We worked on it, I'm not joking, about an hour and a half ago. And you're still not finding the success?
Well, I changed those prompts, Joe, about a month ago after you went through my original prompts.
What did I order for the table? Dessert. Dessert?
So many people put, you know what? It's kind of like a let's debate this topic prompt, because many people would say, what are you ordering? Many people would say, what are you ordering? Because I would keep it vague.
We look like if you dug up the characters from the Grinch after them being dead for 10 years. You exhumed their corpses.
I don't feel...
I feel horrid.
I feel horrible.
Okay, what's your next... what's something else that's brought you... it's your Oprah's favorite thing. What's your next favorite thing?
Oprah's favorite thing?
That's what... my vision for this episode was it was our Oprah's favorite things.
You're kidding me.
I'll say it. I'm not afraid to say it. This little bitch has gotten me through the past year. Not this exact Stanley Cup, but a Stanley Cup specifically. Yeah. I fought against the insane propaganda being used against us to buy Stanley Cups for years now. I have been steadfast and strong in my belief that I did not need a cup with a car door handle attached to it. Mm-hmm. And nevertheless, Stanley won. He got under my skin, he got into my brain, and he got into my home.
Who is Stanley?
I would love to meet Stanley, because I will say nothing has made my life better than this exact cup. I've had a hydro flask. I've had Nowala. I've had every type of cup you could possibly imagine.
With you and cups. You're very familiar with cups in every regard.
In every regard.
But the thing is with this one is it's the bottom. It's the bottom that gets me, because you can be traveling.
That's a first for you.
When a bottom gets me?
Yeah.
I think I've been getting a lot of bottoms lately. I'm pro bottom because you know what? I have an Owala. And I do love the Owala.
You can't put that in a car.
I can't drive anywhere with that Owala because it's flipping and flopping all over the car.
This genuinely, I mean, the water stays cold. I'm not even a cold water person. And I think that if you drink cold water, you're a little bit of a sicko freak. I think water should be room temperature at all times. But I just feel like something about Stan and something about Lee has come together to make something really beneficial. And I know that I'm not the first bitch on the planet to say it. And I feel like, and I hate to say this.
Say it.
I feel like Stanley Cup users lean conservative. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's because this is the thing. It's a statement. When you're bringing,
but it's like a Republican state. It's like wearing a MAGA hat. It's walking around with a Stanley Cup is like wearing a MAGA hat in many ways.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because of professions that you're bringing that to? Do you think it's because it's just again, it's just something about holding that in your hand?
I feel like a gay for Trump. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of get it. But if that is the case, they know
Lock
a good cup. They know a good cup.
You're a very masculine person. Has anyone ever told you that?
You're kidding me. Thank you. No. I mean, people have told me I'm masculine.
Who's told you that?
You?
How would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as fun and sweet. I would also describe myself as like someone who really can balance both divine feminine and the masculine. And someone who like, I'm basically like in the middle. I got a fake Stanley. I got a family.
You can use a families do just the exact same
Do
job.
you think?
Yeah, because the first my gateway cup was a family.
But the thing about the family was like not same straw, not the same straw.
Was it Wendy's straw?
Horrible straw.
Well, that's a problem.
And that's the problem when you're gonna get one of those because
You
like, that's a nice straw.
And it's also really like stupidly expensive.
It's expensive. It's very expensive. You know what I couldn't live without this year?
Don't even say it.
My white carpenter pants from Maywho.
You're cutting them out? You're saying you couldn't live without.
Couldn't live without
you
them
loved
this
those
year.
pants.
Because
everyone knows you loved those pants.
Everyone knows that I love these pants, and everybody wants to say something about me wearing the same pants over and over and over again. And was I doing laundry?
No.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Please.
I'm sorry, yeah. Sure.
But what I learned this year was being, you know what, it's okay with not having a lot of items in your closet.
Well, yes. And I think that actually on the real, like we have committed to not repeating outfits on this podcast for now 81 episodes.
I can't. Why? That's crazy to think about.
It's a little like, again, like we'll repeat a piece here and there now, but like there was a time and it was like I think every single episode is a unique look. We don't have the funds, the assets, the imagination, the creativity, the skill, the network, or the pull to do something like that.
Because
nevertheless, we persist. This is the first repeated outfit we've had in the podcast.
Literally. But I think that when it goes to those pants, like, listen, I paid a pretty penny for those pants. They're not designer. Don't get me wrong. But anything over about $75, I think, for me, I'm like, I'm going to be wearing those pants.
Well, you should. Yeah, price per wear. You have
price
to.
per wear.
I mean, I always say it, and this is also going to sound like a goddamn ad, but I love my Brooklyn Inn sheets. And I'm saying this because I'm begging them to give me them for free. I'm begging them. I've tried.
What sheets?
My linens.
Because I don't like mine.
Well, you don't have the same. Yeah, you did not.
I don't have the linens.
As me. Yeah, like I like a linen sheet, and Brooklyn Inn sheets for me, especially the colors I have, it just like makes me excited to go to bed. I've always been someone who invests my money into bedding above anything else because I think at the end of the day, it's the thing you use most in this life.
Of course.
And if you are excited to get into bed, you're gonna have a good night's sleep.
Of course.
I am. The day I got my first set, which they're in this room now, my life changed. I was like, I feel like a person who lives in New England, who has a golden retriever,
yes,
who has a Jeep that the roof can come off, and has a gorgeous mansion.
Yep, because you don't realize the sleeps that you're missing until you're sleeping on good sheets.
Yeah, like it just, and like the colors, the texture, and I'll say I'm interested in finding out about Piglet in bed.
Who's Piglet in bed? Me?
It's well. You're my little piglet in bed, but this is a different situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It looks like that, like they have very cute sheets, but like something about their user interface and their website plagues me.
Oh, is it kind of like giving?
It's a little like newer vibes. Like they have to figure it out.
Okay. I am looking for a good and this is not something that I was into this year, but I do want to stop sleeping naked.
Why?
I do like sleeping naked. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think I'll ever sleep with clothes on again.
No, but I do want like a cute pajama set, and I think that's something that I've been lacking my entire
buy one before I go to
life.
Australia.
I've been lacking that my entire life, and I'm past the point in my life where I can show up in silk Australia shorts to a pajama party.
You are okay. You're nearing 40.
I'm nearing 40. I'm definitely teetering towards. I'm looking 40. Although a lot of people think we're very young, and I think that's very nice because
I
need a
see
shot or
value
two in the
youth.
forehead.
I don't see value in youth. I see value in aging.
Well, anyways, back to the pajamas. If anybody is out there and wants to let me know of a pajama, a set. I need a set. I just want to look cute But I do love my eye mask. I do love an eye mask. It's like hard not to be able to say every single thing that you want to say without it feeling like a brand.
I know.
Like an ad.
Well, think about other things besides that.
I would say like let's steer away from brands and talk more about things.
Yes. Yeah. I think that like something that I kind of wish I did this year that I did the year before was sign up for a CSA, a community supported agriculture program.
Oh,
that was something I did when we were in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
I remember when I would come home with the produce and I would say, Andrew, what are you going to cook with this?
but
That was like you were on Chopped. I would say, guess what? We have a giant ass pumpkin, 45 apples, a carrot,
and about 17 beets.
What are you going to cook with it? And you would figure it out.
I would. It was kind of nice for me.
I know. And it's also like nice for the environment and nice for like community. You actually like, I was supposed to, I never showed up. But also I often missed my pickup time. So I invested a lot of money into this CSA that I did not get back. But because the first time, oh my God.
What?
And this is an example of someone who's really mentally ill. And I think genuinely I've gotten over some of this, but maybe someone out there, some fucked up sicko can relate to how I used to act and how I still act, honestly. But I'll never forget the first. So I signed up for this community supported agriculture program every Saturday morning at McCarran Park in Williamsburg. They have the farmers market, and I was supposed to go there and pick up my produce. I'm 25 years old at this point. This was 15 years ago.
Of course.
I'm mature. I'm an adult. I can handle this. I get to the farmers market, and suddenly I'm so overwhelmed with anxiety. I have a panic attack at the farmers market, and
You turn around.
I left. I saw where the pickup was. I could not bring myself to walk up to the people and say like, "Hi, I paid $150 for my groceries for the month. Like, can I pick up?" Like, I literally was so sick with anxiety that I actually had to go home. I could not bring myself to walk up to people. And isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. I think that you've made a lot of progress.
I know. Well, thank God. Yeah.
Thank God you made the progress. But the fact I could understand if you didn't pay, if there wasn't a financial exchange and you were supposed to be like being gifted groceries.
Yeah, I did go back, which is maybe even crazier.
Came all the way
home,
back.
I mean, Andrew, what was it? It was 6 blocks. It was 12 blocks from our apartment to McCarran Park.
So you walked there.
I walked there.
You got sick.
I
you walked back.
literally had a panic attack. I came back and I was like, I spent money on this. I need to go back. So I walked back.
No.
Here I go. I'm like, okay.
No.
I walk past all of the Aussie doodles in the street, all of the corgi mixes, all of the families with their 7 children, all named Braxton. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. It's okay. Like, I can do this. I can do this. I walk up to the I forget what it was called, but I walk up to the stand and I say, "Hi, I signed up for this. Like, I have the produce." And they were like, "Oh my God, hi Queen.
Here's your produce.
Here, take a basket and fill it up." No words exchanged. That was literally all I had to say. I gave them my name, and they said, "Here, like, you take 12 apples, you take 6 potatoes, you take 3 of these things. Like, you can pick either the bushel of broccoli or the bushel of the snow peas." Like, and it was so simple, and it actually, like, again, it was amazing. It was fresh produce. But at that time in my life, I was so sick and anxious. And I'll say to someone, if you're at that level of anxiety, seek treatment, get help.
Less.
But also, you are not alone. Like, I'm out here now dealing with the anxiety.
Yeah.
And it gets better.
It does get better. If you can't go up to a tent of something that you paid for and say, "Hey, I'm here for the things that I paid for," I do think that's like, you need to immediately from there go to see somebody or talk to somebody or call someone.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that you got through that.
Thank you.
I think to that regard, I would love to see you do that. I just want to be having more fresh produce.
Yes. And again, you get to volunteer.
I need more vegetables.
You get a day where you have to go to the farm and help them.
Joe, it's just like
That's
your
my dream.
childhood.
Exactly. It would take me back to being a kid. And secondary to that, Sky High Farms is a brand that
Sky High.
Sky High Farms. They have the really cool, like my blue shirt with the yellow stars on it.
Yes. Very cute.
That's Sky High Farms. And they have a farm upstate that you can also volunteer at. And I'm kind of like, very cute. Like, I want to do that, but I also don't know how to get there.
Yeah. I'll drive you. Well, let's think about this. I really have been like, I need a car. I'm getting past the point. And listen, do I have the money to buy a new car right now? Absolutely not. But I think it would really benefit us to get a car.
Someone on YouTube commented, and they're like, I'm confused. Didn't Andrew have a car?
I did have a car. And then the thing is about that car is that it was leased. And then after 3 years, it was no longer feasible. And then also it had about 250,000 miles on it. So, because I would be the one to drive anywhere, I would go back and forth to school, back and forth to Boston, back and forth everywhere. And it was almost, the value was zero and it was breaking nonstop. So yeah, I had to get rid of that car. But I definitely do need a new one because I think it would be fun for everybody.
If you had a car,
can you imagine?
It would change our lives.
Because
Can you imagine you would drive here?
Go to Hershey Park.
If we would go to Hershey Park, you would drive us to Long Island because we'd be going against traffic. Can you imagine?
No.
Can you imagine?
No. This is okay. I'll get a car.
I'll pay for gas.
Please. I'm gonna need you to get a license though, and it's not even for a car. It's only for, and we can break the law, but there are gonna be some times that I'm gonna be out of the apartment when there's gonna be street cleaning. And I'm going to need you to move the car. And I know that's tough, though. That's a lot of anxiety.
We're going to have to move into an apartment with a garage. Sorry.
Okay.
Or a parking garage.
Once we do move into an apartment with a parking garage or an area, a parking spot or something, I'll get the car.
Okay.
Done. Easy. Perfect.
Oh,
I'm happy about that. I'll tell you one thing I couldn't live without this year. And I know that you talked a lot of shit on it.
What is it?
An air fryer. An air fryer. And have you used that air fryer since we've been in the apartment?
Yesterday.
Oh, that's funny because I just feel like you say that. First of all, no one cleans the air fryer. We've talked about that before. But I can't imagine a world in which I didn't have one. And if you don't have an air fryer, you really need to get up with it.
No, again, air fryers are over. You literally were on my side. You said they aren't innovating. They're over.
They're not innovating on the space, but they need to get bigger. They need to get bigger without getting bigger in general. The space inside of it needs to get bigger. Like there's only so many potatoes I can throw in there.
You feeling okay? Just admit it. Just tell them.
I'll tell you one thing. It's not looking good for me.
Or me. I'm going to be honest.
It's not looking good for me. My head is pounding.
My eyes are watering.
My stomach is in knots.
My throat is burning.
I feel like I've been hit by multiple trucks and hands.
My ears are clogged.
I can't breathe.
My back hurts.
I'm just thinking about all the people that I owe money and messages to.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I don't know how it got to that.
The fact that it has nothing to do with how I'm feeling.
No, suddenly you're like,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, I have a question for you. What is your favorite Christmas memory?
I'm actually going to jump out of your window. I was just saying to Joe when I walked through the door, I feel like Christmas has been over.
Well, we've done so many Christmas costumes. We've talked about Christmas for so long at this point.
But this is the thing about the Christmas time. It's like people want to start it so early, right? And I get it. And I think we were in that vibe. I was like, we wanted to start Halloween early. We wanted to start fall early. We want to start Christmas early. When you start it too early, then you get sick of it. Do you not? I feel like I'm not in the place anymore. Maybe it's bah humbug. Maybe I'm bah humbugged this year.
And that's what and that's what's so funny to me, is that everyone wants to call me Scrooge and you're little tiny Tim. But maybe that's not the case.
Well, I'm just saying maybe this year it's a little bit different. I wouldn't say that you're off the hook for Scrooge. So, listen, maybe I'm just joining you at the table.
I would never bah humbug anyone's holiday. I would never be a bah humbugger. But I look at you when I see bah and I see humbug.
That's crazy because I see bah humbugger.
At this point, I'm convinced that's your actual nose. Like, from head on, it's actually crazy.
I know. It's scary to see you like this as well.
Because it's just like, this looks like I've completely adjusted to this being your face.
It's weird to be able to see you from across the way because last time you were just the Grinch.
Right.
And this time I'm like, that kind of belongs on you.
I keep looking at myself on the
When
monitor.
you get your deviated septum fixed,
Should I have them do this? I'm going to say.
Like, I think that, like, it's a pretty easy fix. I'm kind of like, again, when I saw you without the shirt on, I was like, he's really hot. So, like, it had a partly to do with the nose.
I can't even. So you're saying that my nose is disgusting, and without this nose on, I look like a fucking disgusting.
No, but now you're
person?
projecting. Now
you're saying now that I have this tiny little ski slope Eurocentric white supremacist nose, I look better.
I'm not saying that you look better. I said that you look hot. I think you look hot all the time, but I think you also look hot with this nose. Don't try to twist and turn.
Well, I don't have to twist anything. It's plain and simple, straightforward, right in front of me.
Don't try to twist that.
You can't. I don't have to twist anything, Cindy. Nothing needs to be twisted. You said it pretty simple.
Mr. Mayor.
You said now that I saw you with that nose on, you look hot. Now that you have a nose, now that you have a little bunny nose on, you look hot.
I said you looked hot without a shirt on with that nose and
so
those eyebrows and
with
that
my
hair.
actual nose, you were saying I wouldn't look hot.
Have I ever seen you before and say you didn't look hot?
You never seen me before and say I looked hot until I had this nose on.
That's so not true. That's so not true. I can't even believe the way that you're taking this right now.
I feel like let's go back and forth and in the spirit of the holidays, share some reasons why we're grateful for each other.
Just like the Thanksgiving episode?
No, Thanksgiving was different. It was what we were grateful for.
Okay.
This is more like, okay, Andrew, here we are in Whoville.
Here we are in Whoville, and I'm so excited to be able to tell you, Mr. Mayor, why I love you so much.
Ew.
Why do I like? The thing is, it's like I can't dress up as kids anymore. I'm gonna be
because you're a creep.
Because I'm too sexy.
You're too sexy to play a kid.
I'm too sexy to play a kid because the way that I move my body, the mannerisms that I have, it is of that of a 27-year-old.
What if I sneeze right now?
Joe, if you sneeze, don't sneeze right now. Don't do it.
Oh my God.
Joe,
Oh my God.
Joe, please. Joe,
What would
don't.
happen if I
Whatever
sneeze?
you do, don't sneeze. Think about something else because I'm telling
It's
you.
not like I have a boner. Like,
think about something
what
else.
do you mean?
Back to me being just too sexy.
Yeah, back to the problem at hand, which is that you are too sexy, gorgeous, fly, hot, and stunning to play a child.
And like I feel like in this dress, like I'm like filling it out.
For sure.
Filling it out more than last year for sure. Like I'm busting. My chest is busting.
You really are serving busty Luhu.
So, and that's why it's just like it doesn't make sense. Even with Peter Pan, I was like, I was really sexy, and it was hard for me to be able to stay in character. So now going forward, I will say I only can play people that are 21 plus.
21 plus?
I think that it's like
but
rated
there's
R.
so many children you have yet to play yet.
Okay, that's fine, but I just don't put me in a dress. Don't put me in a tight. That's what it is.
Well, I'm not buying your costumes, Drew. You're buying them.
But I'm saying I feel like most of the child characters I'm playing have tights.
You're right. A tight.
When I put a tight on,
something comes over you.
Something comes
Well,
over
the thing is, you really didn't have to wear those tights.
Because you can't even see them.
I'm in jeans.
But I'll say one thing. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with the idea of a tight.
You should start wearing tights.
Should I start, like, because it's cold. Like, I was thinking this. Like, yeah, I can wear thermal underwear. But, like, I think I can also just wear tights with, like, shorts or something. You know?
Yeah, you should.
To more of, like, fancy events, wear a tight.
Yeah, that's called personal style.
Are you into tight play?
Does that mean like when you like wear tights for sex?
Yeah.
Like you like get a boner under a tight?
Yeah. Dude, like I kind of feel like I can get into like fishnets.
You give me the energy.
Yeah, tell me. Be honest.
Of like a faceless 60-year-old profile on Grindr that like their picture is like them wearing like heels and fishnets and a thong.
I've been recently, and it's not to say I'm confirming or denying that, but I have been thinking about who I'll be when I'm 60 on the apps. And
that was the worst phrase I ever heard.
Because I don't want to. I'm not going to be alive.
When
2,
I'm 60 on the apps.
Can you imagine?
Fucking kill.
I'm sorry that I brought that up.
It's fine. You think you're going to be a fishnet bitch?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna start getting that.
You're
into
like
that.
bringing twinks over.
Don't tell people that. What I would like to see from you this year, in the spirit of the holidays, is you continuing your spirit of joy and kindness, because you really have been, like, this past year, I think majority very kind to others and listening to them and hearing them out and doing things for other people.
I think I will, again, maybe it's aging, maybe it's getting closer to 40, but I think I will, if this is someone's first episode, they genuinely think that we're 38. I'm going to move and open a bookshop in Pennsylvania. Like, don't worry about
Be
me.
honest. Be honest. Do you want me to follow you?
I'd be pissed if you didn't.
Because I do think that I would want to go with you to Pennsylvania, because I would love to follow you there.
Pennsylvania.
But if you don't want me to be there, Joe, I realize this.
No,
I was like,
Andrew.
No, because sometimes I think that
Stop
like,
it. No, stop.
Oh, stuck like glue.
Come on.
You and me together, we're
That's
stuck like
stupid.
glue.
That's stupid. No, please.
Because I want to open a bakery, and I want you to open up a bookshop, and I want us to live a little simple life in Pennsylvania.
Can it be the same? Can it be a bookstore that has a bakery like Barnes and Noble used to have, like a Borders used to have?
I'm actually sick about this.
And we just moved there. No one knows our names. It's just like Boston.
Yeah.
We opened this bookstore bakery.
Yeah.
And we use the billions of dollars we've made from this podcast to do it.
Yeah.
And we say we're done. People would say we're the lucky one.
Good children to Whoville.
Hi, this is Ella. This is a question also / topic. So I want to know what your opinions are on men on bird scooters. I personally live in Austin, and it is a freaking epidemic here. I cannot sit on my porch without seeing a group of men in business professional attire, for whatever reason, flying by on bird scooters, and I think it is disgusting and very, I don't know, it's just odd. It's wrong. I don't think women should be on bird scooters either, but specifically men, because they just seem to be on them more often. I want to know if this is like a very common idea or if I'm just a hater. So I would love to know your thoughts. Love you guys. Also, I'm a new listener, but I've listened to like all of your show in a few days because it is my obsession right now, and I just think you're the best thing on earth. So love ya. Thank you.
Ella Muscarella.
Ella Muscarella. I'm really happy that you called in because I needed to hear that name come back up.
It always seems like family.
It always seems like family when you're named Ella.
Yeah, it does.
I actually do wonder what your opinion is on bird
What do you
scooters.
think my opinion on?
Obviously, I know that you're also going to be like, fuck bird scooters.
I'm not even fuck bird scooters, but I'm fuck men on bird scooters.
Are you fuck men that, well, I mean, I guess it's like you're renting the bird. Some people need to get around, though.
What happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
I mean, listen, I honestly, Ella, and you're going to be shocked because I'm turning a new leaf, as we said. If you need to, like you said, some people need the commute. Some people have to commute to work. Some people just want to feel free. Just want to be happy. And maybe we should just let people enjoy what they enjoy and live how they want to live and scoot how they want to scoot and dress how they want to dress.
At the end of the day, if they're not feeling mortified, let them be.
I think it's time. And poor Ella. I mean, she thought we were going to agree, and suddenly I'm
like,
literally changing my entire
scooters.
tone in my entire life.
Ella, we're not holding anything.
I have been thinking lately though, like I feel like a lot of our recent hits on the internet have been me talking shit about someone unsolicited, and like I do go to sleep at night and I'm like, I'm like a beacon of negativity, and I kind of want to change that in the new year. So I do think that you might be getting a little less of an intense rant from me about strangers.
We're no longer going to be viral.
Yeah, I know. We have to get funny again.
That stinks.
Yeah, we have to get funny again because I'm no longer going to be inflammatory. But
I will say I get annoyed with them on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
I get annoyed with them on the sidewalks.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous for everybody involved, but they're the ones that are risking their lives. Wear a helmet.
They can risk your life. You get hit by a bird scooter on a sidewalk, you're going flying 45 feet.
Oh, of course. Of course. Oh, of course.
Are we eating something or not?
Do we want? Or do you want food?
Like, we need food.
We need food.
Good children to the cafeteria.
Okay, you guys, I'm in London without Joe, which is a little bit crazy. And I'm walking around. It's kind of stunning. Wait, hold on. Look at that church. Look at the buildings. It's kind of freaky deaky because the architecture here just really speaks to me. Anyways, I just landed in London, and what am I doing? I'm on the way to a bakery because I need a little something sweet. That airplane food is not sitting well in my stomach. Why did I have a cheese ravioli with spinach at about 2 a.m.? That just doesn't make sense to me. I'm on the way to Popham's Bakery. I've heard amazing things about Popham's. It's just time for a little something sweet. The storefront is so cute. Okay, I just described to Joe as I was texting him that it's pitch black outside, and I kind of understand why he said it's actually broad daylight. We got the tart. We got the crumble tart. And I gotta find a place to sit because I gotta eat it. No, the crisp. So it's croissant base, basically. There's layers to it. A croissant base with an apple. Ooh, it's a good amount of cinnamon and nutmeg in there, but the crumble on top is, that's the treat. That's the treat because it's not too sweet. It's a little bit savory. I get what he means with the whiskey drizzle. But the thing is about me is I want my Wikipedia to say born in Massapequa, New York, died in Islington. So let's see what the rest of the trip brings me. But if you are ever in London, stop by Popham's Bakery. Look at that.
I needed that more than you know because we fucked up today.
We fucked up today big time.
Big time. Because we tried our best. We started off strong and then we didn't eat again.
We didn't eat again. And I felt really
feeling
good because I had a green juice. You saw me have a green juice this morning.
You can't stop with these green juices.
No, I'm obsessed with my greens.
When was the last time you had a green juice?
Well, I mean, I have been having athletic greens.
Do you have them every single day?
I try.
Good for you.
I really do try.
I fell off really fast.
And I think that's why I'm looking so like.
It's why you're looking so good and being so awake.
And being so awake and like I'm like less bloated. And you've been saying that.
I've been saying that about you.
Everyone
has been saying it on the podcast, in the comments.
Right. I would let you lay me down and I would let you like tap my stomach and you'll realize how little bloat there is.
You said you want me to lay you down and tap your stomach.
I would actually want you to not just tap my stomach. I would want you to smack my stomach.
Well, I think this has been such a wonderful roundup of season's greetings, of silliness, of joy, of love, and of insane costumes.
We really, and you know what? We have admitted to ourselves today. Costumes aren't stopping.
Well, they are actually stopping for the next month at least.
Well, I mean, costumes aren't just going to be happening during a holiday season.
No, we're going to find more excuses to dress up.
Because we like it. I love it. And we've always been dressing up.
We love to dress up. And nothing makes me crack more than like looking at you like this right now and knowing what I look like. And
I've
then
been cracking.
It's crackable.
It is, well.
It's the most crackable situation we've ever been in. And just like that.
And just like that.
And just like that.
We are done with another beautiful episode of Good Children, the podcast. You know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, rate, review. Send it to your friends. Send it to your friends. Spread the word. Just like Ella, she just started listening. She can't stop.
Change someone's life this Christmas by telling them to listen to our podcast.
And don't forget about our Patreon.
And don't forget, because talk about life changing.
And we're really, I mean, again, we are releasing the Hinge video in a few weeks. And there are so many Hinge profiles that have been sent to us that
it's going to become a series.
It's going to become a series. And that's going to be a lot of fun.
For one day.
And it's just $7-buckaroos.
$7 a month, $70 for the whole year if you want to save on a couple of months. Not a bad deal, in my opinion. Almost too good of a deal. Almost too good. And you know where to find us across all platforms at Good Children Pod. Don't forget to hit the bell button when you subscribe on YouTube.
Please.
And I am on Instagram at Joe Hegyes and on TikTok at Be Quiet Joe.
I'm on Instagram at Andrew Muscarella and on TikTok at Andrew_Muskie.
And we're heading back to Whoville right now, but we'll see you next week with a brand new episode. And we'll see you on Patreon on Friday for the second half of this episode. Where are you, Christmas? Why can't I find you? Why have you gone away?
That was like the power that sometimes you just pull out of nowhere is shocking.
Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that. I needed to hear that right now.
It's the least I can do for you.
I needed to hear that right now. Ha ha ha!